Contact. Nope, wrong key. Contact. I'll be damned. I gotta go back a little bit. Did I go back too far? I think I went back too far. If we just get a little duct tape, we could probably just stick that right up there. Nobody would ever know. Hello, welcome back to Outside, Inside, Outside Racing. I am Ian, and you join me for yet another tale of twos. This is the Goblin. That's Senor Dos. This one stays. That one goes. There is one important piece, though, that I want to steal from that before it goes, and that's this right here, and I'll get you a close-up of the nastiness that's going on in this general vicinity. A lot of rust holes, and somebody tried to pull some dents out and stuff here in the past. So I am going to take the whole vent off of that car, and I'm going to put it on to this car. I'm not going to put it on today. I'm just going to cut it off of that car, and then I'm going to get some more stuff off of that car and get it ready to head out to our buddy Alex, who is currently in the process of trying to figure out how to do 2 AR swaps on MR2s, and that's what will happen to the little Goblin in the future. He'll be the guy to do it whenever it gets done, hopefully. But for now, there's a harness bar in that car that he'd like to have, and as a consequence or part of the price, he has to take the whole car. But he's going to use that for development of the swap of the 2 AR. There's some parts we got to get out besides just beauty stuff, and I say beauty, I use that term loosely, but we're going to cut out the vent, and then I'm going to take out the harnesses, and then, I don't know, maybe, yeah, who knows? Who knows what else might be in there that I need to take out of there? Oh, the steering rack. It's got a quick rack in it from Flo's. We want to put that in this car, but that's not going to happen until after we take it to his place and put it up on blocks and then take it down and, you know, all of that stuff. So let's get started. I'll just get out some Wheel of Death and we'll start cutting into that. Let's take an inspection first, though, and see what we need to actually, you know, where we need to cut and figure all that out. So yeah, over here on Senor Dos, we can see that all this metal's good. Think about the body lines here. I like to get this trim piece off so I can cut up inside of there. Try not to bust the glass. And then I'll cut down here to the wheel arch, which is bad and rusty, but I don't really need that part. I can cut that out. And then I'm going to go down underneath this bumper guy and cut into this straight area here. And then over into the door and up this way. I brought a paint marker. I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to, you know, eyeball it. So let me get to it. And you can watch on the old time lapse, and hopefully we don't set all these dry leaves on fire that are down here. That'll be done, and then we'll move on to whatever's next. So this is what's behind the sheet metal of the vent of an AW11 MR2. If you've been dinking around in the engine bay at all, you'll know that there's this nice big rubber collar there. I just cut it out. And if you're looking at a Mark IIB, it has this hose, connects here, and goes all the way around the back, all the way around the trunk, and to this other side over here, where the air filter sits. So that's what that is. That's actually breathing in your air right there from the underneath here. But yeah, it's pretty dirty. It's not clean because this was a RallyCross car. But look at the cut I got. I mean, I could complain about it, but I probably won't. Yeah, I mean, I find it to be not terrible. And you know what we could do? We just get a little duct tape. We could probably just stick that right up there. Nobody would ever know. But see, we've got all that rusty stuff there is in all of this pressed metal piece right here. It's going to be a little bit, you know, terrible to put it together with that thin of metal on that side. I wish I could have got more, but we'll make it work someday. Not today, not at all. Today, I think we'll carry on with the removal of the rest of the stuff, and this piece will be valuable later. For now, it can live there, and I'm going to head on over to Senor Dos and see what else I can wrench out of him. I have limited tools here. That's going to be my downfall. Did not think ahead on that one. Lucky I got it done when I did, because I'm about at the end of this one. It might have a little left in it. Small jobs. So we got the harness bar here. 2 harnesses I want to take off. Over here, we got the older, you know, big nasty latch style. Over there, we got a nice cam lock guy. I want to get both of them out of here. but they require some tools that I don't have, namely impact and socket. So I'm probably not doing that right now. I mean, really, this is what I came over here to do, was just to get that side panel piece off. So maybe we'll call this quits for now, but this is not the end of the video. We'll get those harnesses out. We'll strip off some of the other plastics that I need to steal, and then we'll get this thing onto the trailer and get it over to Alex, where it will live out the rest of its days triumphantly. All right, I thought before I start digging around on the harnesses on the black car, I go ahead and jump the Goblin here and see if it'll run, because it's been a number of months since I got it running again by putting in new plugs, and it ran for a while, and that was the last time it ran. So I don't think it's going to run, but I figure I'll give it a jump here, and we'll see what happens. It does have a negative cable somewhere. What's this? Oh, that's a battery tie down. Negative cable. Right. There it is. There we go. Okay. And the negative cable has been off, so maybe it won't need a jump. That's not possible. All right, let's give it a go. Don't fall over. I said don't fall over. Do not fall over. Oh, wait. Press a button. And the button is pressed. Contact. Nope. Wrong key. And contact. I'll be damned. It's running. Maybe not for long. No, it's running. Good old Toyota. 4AGE, baby. Some people, they talk bad about them. They know who they are. They're wrong. Well, they're kind of right. We'll go on ahead and just scooch this out of its space here. Might be beneficial if I can see out the back window. Oh boy. The left rear is essentially flat. I gotta go back a little bit. Am I going back too far? Did I go back too far? I think I went back too far. All right, now I can go forward. There we go, easy. Easy. I said easy. I honestly can't believe this thing's running. Idling the way it is. We might have more than one flat tire. Whoa, I'm gonna hit the car again. Look out, do not want. One time was funny. 2 times would be stupid. We're dragging something. Is it a tire? Is it a stick? It does not want to move. I'll tell you that. But I'm gonna let it run this whole time I'm working on the black car, maybe at least most of the time. I'm not gonna be here long. Okay. Cool, 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 cool beans. These tires weren't flat. It definitely sounded like it was dragging something. Oh yeah, there's a plastic under tray underneath it that's dragging. What are you pointed at? Can you even see me? And it's doing the up-down idle thing that MR2s like to do when they don't have the right coolant or they have air in the coolant or something like that. Also, there's a mechanical noise. You hear that? Belt squeal? Does it have oil pressure? It's not reading any. But just because it's not reading any doesn't mean it doesn't have any. Because I think the oil pressure sensor is unplugged still. I fought with it for a while trying to get it back on, and yeah, no, the oil pressure sensor is not on there. So it probably didn't lose oil pressure, probably. Whatever, I gotta work on this car that you're sitting on. Can you see? You can see things, all you need to see. You're gonna see more than you wanna see. My ass crack. All right. Gotta reacquaint myself with how the belts are situated. Here's my good Camlock guy. He's got a, oh no. The lap belt is attached at the same attachment point as the harness bar. So I'll take that bolt out, but that one should just slide out after that. And then, of course, the shoulder belts are on the harness bar, so no big deal there. Just got to unwrap them. So I don't think this is as hard as I thought. I just got to slide the seat forward, take the bolt out of there, take the bolt out of the other side. Should be done. Let's see how fast I can do it. Not fast. Maybe, hopefully, before the sun goes down. 14. That one's out. I am not going to have the right socket. It feels a different size. Maybe it's a 13. We could be in business here. And hell, that could be a 12. Or is it an Allen head? The 6 is too small. The 8 might be it. Or it's a 10. If it is an Allen. I wish I could see the other side. Damn. Well, I can get out of here what I can get out of here at least. So let me take out the shoulder straps for now. How do I do that? There's a zip tie holding the curl. The whole roll has to come back through the... Yep. Okay, I remember. Where'd that bug come from? No, go back to hell. No, I don't trust anything that came out of this car. I alluded to it earlier. But now I'll just name names. Alex, who I'm going to take the Goblin to get the motor swap done eventually, and who this car is going to so he can work out the 2AR swap for the Mark 1B MR2. He was the one who bad-talked the 4AGEs. So we'll have a word with him about that later. Well, there we go. There's the top of our race quip harnesses out, and I can get the right side out, I think. There it is. I just can't take out the left side belt because of the harness bar in the way. I can fix that with some proper tools, but for now, I'm just going to leave it, go to the other side with a 14 in hand, and get what I can get out of there. So as you can see, the sun is almost set. I was able to get all of the straps out from the other side except for the one that's trapped by the harness bar. That'll have to come later. And then I remember that there is a submarine strap on this side put in by some ingenious mechanism that I had to uningenious and take it out of there. And now I think I'm done for the day. Come back tomorrow, get this sucker up on the trailer, strap it all down, and get it to Alex von Bevern of Team Vision. And so we took a short trip south and found Alex to not be home. So we just unloaded the car and shoved it in his backyard between his shop and his race trailer and made sure he had all the associated parts that he needs in order to do the research he needs to do to know how to swap in the 2AR Camry motor into these Mark 1B, second generation within the first generation, AW11 MR2s. That's his vision, and his mission currently is to figure out how to get that stuff done. And once he's nailed that process, and I've seen a video of a running motor already, so that's progress, definitely. We'll be partaking of his services, if we can, to get the same swap into the Goblin. But prior to that, the Goblin has to get ready to compete in the 2026 RallyCross season. So we have some coolant things to do, and we have some other things to do. In fact, let's go take a look at the board and look at all the blue cards that are on there. I'd help if I had a light on. Okay, this is the project management calendar for all of the cars that I have to get running and keep running for the 2026 season. It's a work in progress, but this is all the stuff that I need to do to the different cars over the course of the year. And this is supposed to be March right here, but we have a Rallycross early in March in the Kansas City region. So what I'm going to do is get the thermostat and coolant baseline, and I have fan override switch on here. I've talked about that with the boys in OIO, and I think I'm just going to leave it stock. I don't think I'm going to set up a switch to override the fan in a car that probably isn't going to do high speeds for long periods of time, won't really be heat soaked, won't need to turn on the fan in the grid, I hope, especially because an MR2 has 30 miles of coolant hoses in it, so it should stay cool. But I'm going to go ahead and chuck that one for now. Thermostat and coolant baseline. What that means is the car has no thermostat right now, and it should have a thermostat in it. But unfortunately, putting a thermostat into it means that I have to bleed it again. And if you've ever bled the coolant system in an MR2, then you know why I would be avoiding that. But that must happen. And why the preseason nut and bolt is all the way down here, I do not know, because these are things that should happen before the season. So I've got a preseason nut and bolt check, and I have improve interior quality of life. 3D print, shocking. I'm 3D printing everything now. Those are things that could move up a little bit. And then we've got the steering rack install, which actually requires that we retrieve the steering rack from the MR2 that we just dropped off. So we'll go back and get that steering rack out of there. And I think I'm going to combine these two things together over here, but they can't live right there. And preseason nut and bolt actually has to go in with that as well. Improve interior can wait for a while. The office is a pretty nice place to be in the MR2 at the moment. I'm going to take all three of these and move them over to the current month and move them up to the top of the list. We got stuff to do with Dale here. This is actually the fit alignment. Anyway, I got a little off track there. Oh, look at this. These two can go in the trash. Black MR2 to Alex. Cut day, MR2. Those are done. Goodbye. I am all over the place. Look, there's a lot to do. And I don't need to be standing here telling you about all the work that I need to do. I just need to do the work. So I'm going to get the MR2 and I'm going to do some of that work, but I'm going to be done with this video for now. I know that I didn't do anything really in this video besides cut some stuff, but stay tuned. I'm going to paste that stuff back onto the Goblin at some point in the near future. But that's what I'm doing. What are you doing? Are you working on stuff? Are you getting ready to go racing yourself? Are you getting ready to go out and find your own Apex? Because it's better late than never? Let us know down in the comments. And deep breath. It can be done. This can be done. It is not impossible. Nothing is impossible, and impossible is nothing. Or is it something? Is there a zero? I'm not sure there's a zero.